Mark, nice to have you here at NAMM.
Good to see you, Oliver.
Cool.
How you doing?
So you're the amp designer for Tone King amps,
That's right, that's me.
and you brought some new stuff for NAMM.
That's right, we have a couple of new things to
So
show
what I
you.
saw here is the new Falcon.
Yep, this one's
Bigger Falcon.
bigger Falcon, Grande Falcon.
Okay, so let's go to the ground.
Let's go. Yeah, this is actually called the Falcon Grande, as we said. And it's a bigger, fatter, more powerful version, more full-featured version of our old Falcon model. And just in general, I would call it more of like an early 50s kind of maybe Gibson or Tweed-inspired amp that's distinctly different from our, say, Imperial, which has that classic kind of 60s blackface sound. This is a lot different than that. This is intended to be nice and thick and fat and never too bright on the top end, even at low volumes. And it has a whole lot of tonal variety, and it's got some really cool options. So I'll just run through that really quickly. It's a single channel amp, just volume and tone, but it has a 3-position voicing switch, and you can select them right here on the foot switch. And you've got rhythm is more, kind of like a brown face deluxe kind of sound. It's a little bit brighter, a little crisper. Tweed is obviously more mid-centric, thicker, a little rounder on top, and lead takes that even further and can be pushed into a nice crunchy sound. It's got built-in reverb, and it's a kind of an outrageous reverb for us. It's got both dwell and mix controls, so you can get it as deep and splashy as you want. It's also got the built-in Iron Man 2 attenuator. It's a sophisticated attenuator with the reactive load, and it's got compensation circuitry that modifies the EQ curve, so the tonal balance always remains nice and full and rich, even at low volumes.
Okay, so I think, your amps are pretty popular because of the power attenuator, so you can play all the gain stages at low volume.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I personally really like. Yeah.
Great. Well, that's been a theme of our amps for a few years now, and I've spent a whole lot of time developing this Iron Man 2 technology, the architecture, I suppose, that we've applied to all these amps.
So that brings us to the Mark II.
Yes.
So you changed the power attenuator section. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
let's go to it.
Let's go. All right. Now the Royalist we introduced about 2 years ago. It was kind of our take on the. Excuse me.
My voice is gone also.
It's kind of our take on the vintage British sound, but intentionally a low-gain British sound, not death metal kind of thing. It's more classic rock, more AC/DC, Led Zeppelin kind of sound. And I put a whole lot of effort into the design. I think it was very successful, a great sounding amp. But the only thing I thought could be upgraded was the attenuator. The original Royalist had the original Iron Man 1 design, and after I came out with Iron Man 2, I thought it's really got to go into the Royalist because it helps so much at low volumes. It just gives it a nice, real natural frequency response compared to prior.
Enough. So besides that, you added a second input channel here.
Exactly. Now the original Royalist, like I said, it was designed for sound like AC/DC.
Bright sound, like British bright sound. Yeah.
Right. But a lot of guys were using it for clean. They were using it for jazz or whatever, and they wanted more headroom, and they didn't want it to be so trebly. So I added this deep input that reduces the gain, fattens it up overall, and it makes the top end not so trebly and kind of softens the attack. So it's almost like an old Bassman sound. So you get quite a bit of variety with just that extra one input.
Well, I think this is the main difference between the American and the British sound. So the British sound is more trebly, harsh, more gain, and the American sound is full of low mids.
Exactly.
And that's what you tried here.
Exactly, yeah, and they're both
the thing. Yeah.
And they're both great sounds.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
yeah.
Okay. So this is the Iron Man 2 as a separate unit.
Right. After spending all that time developing the Iron Man 2, I decided let's put it in a box and make it so people can use it on their own amps, not just Tone King amps. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to make it in an affordable package for lower powered amps. So what we did was this unit has the full-blown Iron Man 2 implementation with the reactive load, the frequency compensation circuitry, the damping factor correction stuff. But since it only can go up to 30 watts max, 8 ohms only, I was able to put this together for about $395. Pretty good value for a really sophisticated attenuator.
It's pretty small though. Yeah.
It is small, and it's got some other neat features as well. I mean, compared to the built-in attenuator, which has only 6 attenuation steps, this one's got 18. All right. In addition, it has this neat solo button, so you can put it on the ground as a foot pedal and get a little bit of a solo boost. 3 dB or 6 dB selectable, just enough to get you up above the band, just the right amount of boost. That's another. And the third thing you can do with this is, if you want, you could plug in your amp. You don't even have to plug a speaker in. Use it as just a reactive load. Take the line out, use it for reamping, DI purposes, whatever. So a lot of uses, and very sophisticated attenuation. It's very transparent. I think we're hoping to turn on some people who typically wouldn't like attenuators and make them see that you can do it right.